Now it should be working. Hello. Working. There I've got audio confirmation. Hello. Working. Yes. I am going to hear it on my next performance review when the boss reviews my performance. His name's Doug, if you didn't know that. For being late. Good grief. I wasn't really that late, but then the software didn't cooperate. XSplit, I had to recreate all of my scenes, my monitor 1, monitor 2, monitor 3, and my camera. They all were gone for some reason. I don't know why. Good morning. December 10th, 2022 on a Saturday, 11:08 a.m. I'll go ahead and do a little introduction, then I'll fire up Zoom. I don't have Zoom actually up and running yet, and I'll just hold on that so that I can say hello to people. You can go ahead into Zoom. It's like you're in the waiting room until I start it. So let's come over here to monitor number 1 and see how much of this works. There's the picture-in-picture is working. And I'll pop out chat. Oh, and let's see, before I forget again, is Jeff Ryman in the house? Jeff. I don't see Jeff yet. All right. I'll wait till I see him for that. Darren says, hi, everyone. That was over an hour ago. And I think he actually said hi even before that. Ran Israel, hello. Selden Ball, hello. Tony, Jonathan. There was someone else before that. Let's go over here to the streaming chat. And if I scroll all the way up here, yeah, BH Ringer was actually first at 4:31 p.m. yesterday, my time. Let's see, that shows 16 current viewers, 5 likes. Thank you. Come back over here to where we can see chat better. Tony, hello to you. Jonathan, Ran Israel, Josh, Kinder, hello. Bright and sunny, cold afternoon here. Still morning in California. Yeah, it's morning here. I am in California. Bobby, I don't know if you're saying you don't know where I am. Oh, yeah, you're saying you don't know where I am because I was late. I was actually here at my desk trying to get things working. Oh, obviously there because I say that. No, not watching soccer. Not a big fan of football. Football. It's not football, it's football. It wasn't a support call. I was out at a client's office this morning. Macrium Reflect question from Danielle Emberly. For create backup tasks, do we normally need to create all 3 types listed there? Image, Windows Restore, File and Folder. No, you need to create what you want to be protected for and depending upon your circumstances. I'd be more likely to use File and Folder on a server so that I have more frequent backups of the files, but do an image backup less frequently. On my computers, I always do image backups. And Windows Restore, what do you mean by that? It seems to me there is something in there that I haven't paid any attention to. Is that a backup type called Windows Restore? When you go to create a backup, and let's see what we can do. Image, existing backup. Let's see what I want to get to. Backup, image selected, backup windows, backup files. Are these the 3 that you're referring to as a backup windows as opposed to, oh, it by default does, well, those are other drive letters. These check marks are all my primary. I haven't looked at that. I'll have to look closer at that to give you a fair answer, Danielle. But it's really based upon what you want to be protected against and what is your backup medium, how much space do you have, how frequently do you want to do the backups. There aren't many occasions where I would do multiple different backups. Well, here's an example, actually. on a client's file server, I do a image backup. Well, that'd be great for restoring the entire drive if it goes bad, but I also do a file backup because there's a data folder, and that's all we really need for data files that get damaged. And when you're restoring from a file backup, that's going to be easier to pick selected files than pulling them from an image backup. Should be easier and quicker to accomplish. So they have there's different features. Different features, is that the right way? Different workflows, I guess I might say, depending upon what kind of backup that you've done. If you choose that you want 2 of those or even 3 of those, then you should be able to recite your reasons for that. Love to talk about that more with you if you're interested. So then let's come back, go on further. Good morning. Are we at the doctor's office making us wait? Sorry for the wait. I like to be on time because my pilot training in the background. I'm pretty fussy about being on time. Here I thought I was late from Jim. Greg Guy, morning, afternoon, all watching from St. Mary's County, Maryland, U.S. Navy retired. Thank you for your service, Greg. Maybe Doug's taking a nap. I did get carried away with one of those YouTube videos of with the golden buzzer. It's not American Idol. America's Got Talent, I guess. Yeah, I get suckered into those sometimes. Did Doug say almost up above? Yeah, I said that almost was in. I thought I was almost live at that point. Not quite. AVDVR, you're going to get it sooner than that, or you're going to get it. Oh, you're going to get it sooner than that. Okay, that must have been in response to something that I said or somebody else said. So let's see, whose names have I been missing here? Sorry about that. Jonathan, Bobby, Jim, Catherine, Anna Hauserman, hello to you. Tim Sowell, got Jonathan already. Kenny Whidden, Speedy C, hello to you. Loke Catastart, I've seen you a couple times. From Holland. Well, welcome in from Holland. Loic, I'm going to need to learn how to pronounce your name. So let's go do that right now. Come in here to a new tab. How to pronounce Loic. How to pronounce. Now, I don't know if that's your name or just your YouTube channel. The right way to pronounce T-vowel. That's not Loic. How to pronounce Loic in Dutch. Okay, so Loic is from Holland. I guess that's close to Swedish. Loic. And then come over here, and there should be, here, click on this speaker.
Loic. Loic.
Loic.
Loic.
Loic. Okay, that's the way it's spelled. Loic. Can I do this one too? Catastat. Let's see how to pronounce. I could have done it when I was still in that same. I guess Paul Catastat is somebody well known, maybe.
Paul Catastart.
Catastart. Catastart. Well, that looks pretty obvious too. Loic Catastart. How did I do, Loic? Let me know. Catherine asking people to like the video. Thank you so much. Catherine, soccer is boring. I agree. I'm not a big sports watcher anyway. I have some individual sports in my background, but not so much team sports, and never really did get into spectating sports. Rick Lakes, hello. Frankie B, the Bronx 9, hello. Doug, if you choose to do a backup of your data files, is it possible to control the intervals of how that backup is done? What are your choices for intervals or how the backup is performed? Absolutely, it's possible to control the intervals. I have one client's office where I had it set to do incremental backups every hour of their data files. And that was an online backup. Lots of varieties of how to make your choices. Different backup software will give you different capabilities for doing that. The one I'm referring to was a online backup, cloud type backup. Jeff Ryman is here. Hello, Jeff. So, Jeff, I got this note to myself. Don't forget. Thank you, Jeff Ryman, for the PayPal contribution recently. I think it was on Thursday. Jeff sent me a PayPal contribution in support of the channel. I appreciate that. Loic Catastart. Look. Oh, no, he pronounces it look, not Loic. I am sure there's probably a few different ways to pronounce it. So look, not look, look, Catastart. Okay, if I can, and it's my real name, he says. All right, he or she, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the name Look, whether it's male or female, usually. Long dog to Jeff, missed today's discussion, got kind of involved in the discovery of some installed software on my machine that was affecting some tests for Crystal Disk Mark. Dennis, we went to our local retail to get a TVG, and everyone was watching Morocco versus Portugal. That would be football. It took several minutes to get help. Maybe that's TV, adding the letter G. I'm not sure what the G is. Hello, Dennis says hello, Jeff. I've finished updating several software apps, just made it about a minute late. TV, yeah. On Dog Man, Jeff, we're pretty much doing the same thing. I was doing some updates and some tinkering. I discovered something called RAM Cache 3 was installed by ASUS Software Updater, and I was investigating what it does. All right, caught up with chat. All right, so here I'm going to go open up the Zoom session. I have no idea if anyone's there, although I could have figured that out if I would have gone and looked at my email, because my email does notify me. I do have one person there. Let's go bring him up on screen and see who this is. Whoops, I got to fix this first. Because all my sources were messed up this morning. And here we go. There's Josh Kinder. Hello, Josh.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. I got a new webcam.
Oh, awesome. So we get to see your messy room even clearer, right?
Yeah, full HD.
Full HD with a messy bedroom. Did you have any? Now, I haven't seen any. There are suggested topics in the video description. Let's go see what those are. Let's do. Oh, I've got to get my tabs set up differently here.
Did you get my email about me from my aunt?
Yes, I did. That was for another subject that we'll deal with when Josh is back at his aunt's house, which I think is next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are the topics. I haven't seen anybody requesting any of these topics yet, so let's go review what they are. I do have a favorite one myself today. The first two I just listed as reserved for requests. I guess I want to make that bigger anyway, don't I? And then using Sysinternals Process Monitor in a virtual machine to understand Windows better. That was going to be my vote. I have a new channel name in mind for this channel and my other channels, if people are interested in hearing about that. Any support requests or subjects from the audience with or without remote connection. There's number 6, reserved for requests. Follow-up questions from Windows Daily episodes, review of Macrium Reflect. So this would be on the subject. A couple people have asked about backups. We could go explore down that road. Marketing tool for criminals on Error Brand. I'm probably about to remove that because nobody's showed interest in that. If you prefer, you can email topic requests at that address. Now, let's get back to the pop-out chat and see if I get any response. There's a Jonathan at topic number 3. Spoiler, Morocco won. Well, thanks for letting me know that. I won't watch because I already know the winner. Yeah, I was going to watch anyway. I have from Long Dog. I have a Samsung 980 Pro 2 terabyte drive, and I was typically getting 5 gigabits per second and about 6,800 megabits per second reads after this software installed. Those numbers, after the software was installed, those numbers were nearly tripled. I thought something was wrong with Crystal Disk Mark. And I was typically getting 5,000 megabits per second and about 6,800 megabits per second. So after installing that software, your numbers went up. Those numbers were nearly tripled. Well, that number is not triple of that. Oh, I thought something was wrong with Crystal Disk Mark. So I'm not quite understanding that there. Haha. Jonathan, topic 3. Jeff, topic 3. Go with the flow of others. They're all good subjects to discuss. Loke says, smiling, and Ryan. And how did I know that that was Jeff?
Hold on.
Ryan. And how did I... Okay. Is it fixed now?
Three people webcam that I'm using.
I see that. I can't make out the name of it though. What make and model is it?
It is a IEMET.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's try it another way. You hold it up to the screen again. I'm going to spotlight your video. And see. IE Smart Cam. All right.
I picked them up. I picked 2 of them up, or 3 of them up on Amazon for $29.
$29 each?
Yep.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah.
All right.
The only thing I got to work on now is I got to work on the mic situation in OBS because I did a video last night and there was a lot of feedback.
All right. Well, give me a minute to say hello to other people here. Hello, Jeff Ryman.
Hello. I have a comment on Long Dog's thing you were talking about.
Okay.
Those numbers were, I believe, what he was getting before something else installed that RAM Cache 3 software. And he said after the RAM cache was installed, both of those numbers nearly tripled.
All right. Well, that makes sense if the tests were pulling all of their data out of the RAM cache.
Cache installed, it's just grabbing the stuff out of the cache instead of having to go to the disk. So that makes sense.
That's not a reflection of the drive at all. Mm. Hello, Jim, KJ3N.
Hello.
Hi, Jim.
Any opening comments or topics from you?
No, not really. I would just say it was roughly, let's see, what tells today's date? Today's the 10th. About 4 days ago, I got something very similar to an email that you had gotten probably a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Spending $6.99 at Target.
Spending $6.99 at Target.
Yeah.
Is an email saying that you did that?
Yeah.
And that wasn't true.
Well, of course it's not true.
Yeah. Okay. So did they have some kind of number for you to call or something like that to dispute it?
Yeah. I've got it on the screen if I can share it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Give me a second.
Let's see. I'm gonna. Oh, I might have to turn on.
Probably.
Allow. Let's see. Security and allow participants to share screen. All right. Try that now.
All right. Let's. Look familiar?
Janice Harvey. Yeah, it does. It does. Detected some suspicious activities with your PayPal account. If you did not make this transaction through Target Store, please call us. Toll-free number and cancel. Okay, I want to search that phone number on Google. Do a Google search that phone number. Did you try that yet?
No, I haven't bothered. I laughed at it. And just
Yeah,
went,
yeah, but
whatever.
you don't want to buy. You don't want to. Don't need to go chase down everything that comes along. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, just so, because there may be other people that will see this video that don't know about doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I went logged into PayPal. It did show up in there, and I hit cancel. I'm like, yeah, you're not serious. Don't even. Try that.
Oh, is that actually an invoice that showed up in PayPal? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, because anyone can send you an invoice. And it shows, and the email probably came from PayPal. Right?
This email itself came from PayPal. Yes.
Yeah. Certified 1621. Who calls me from? Yeah. So here, report a phone call. Tired of scammers. That's just who calls me. 1621. Read the comments below. Is anyone posted with PayPal request for money? Called my cell but left no message. Oh, somebody actually called from that number. Phone numbers, irrigation. Yeah, sometimes what you'll get is right away you'll get confirmations that this is a scammer's number.
I don't. In fact, I think, memory serves correctly, I still do not have a cell phone number put into my PayPal stuff. I could be wrong, but I don't think I do, which is probably one of the reasons why this number hasn't even tried to call me.
Let's see, this one's 1621. This link got to a whole bunch of different numbers. 1621, is that one of those? Yeah, it is. Posted with a PayPal request for money. Yeah. So, well, some people will get that kind of a message, and because the name PayPal is associated with it, they assume it's legit. Well, it's a legit message from PayPal. That doesn't mean that the invoice you got was legit. All right, so screen sharing stopped. I might have to do a little fix to get the Zoom screen back. Yes, I do.
I was like, yeah, okay, right. You honestly think that I'm going to fall for this one? You're out of your mind.
Right. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do fall for those things.
Yes. I refer to them as idiots.
Yeah.
I don't mince words. I just don't.
That was you not mincing words, huh? All right. Yeah, of course. This, okay, maybe if I switch it to something else other than the Zoom meeting is still not coming back. I still have your screen share coming through on my XSplit, even though on Zoom I see only the contestants.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I hit that
turned
off a while ago.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm going to turn off the screen sharing and see if that'll help me get back to normal. Come on. I know I've had trouble with this before. Let me bring this to live, so that gets that thing off, and then go back and try to switch it back to the Zoom meeting. There, that gets it back. All right, there you go. So then moving on. Hello, Gary Weissenberger.
Hello.
How are you today? Do you have anything to bring to the table?
A couple of quick things. One for Lawn Dog. He's been talking about Pro Tools. Pro Tools is a Pro Tool. I mean, it's a joke, but it's a great tool, but it's not really meant to be thrown on your home PC.
Yeah. And that would be because they're expecting the users to be willing to take the time to learn how to use it properly.
Exactly. I mean, it makes DaVinci Resolve look like a Tinker toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can have 256 different mic inputs at one time. I mean, that's an orchestra. That's not one guy with a guitar. It's a great product, but it's not what the guy needs. He needs something, even maybe an open source like Odyssey or something.
Yeah.
Or even GarageBand and Apple iTunes or Apple iOS. Just let him know.
Yeah. Just because you pay a higher price tag doesn't mean it's going to serve your needs better.
Exactly. I mean, half of what 90% of the people can do with word processing do in Notepad.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah. And that's what gets a lot of my clients in trouble, where they wind up calling me, is because there are features in all the software that they use that they don't need and shouldn't be messing around with, and then they accidentally go do something there, and then they have the complaint, well, why do they make that so complicated? Well, it's because they have all these features for all the possible different uses that people have. And that means that in order for you to use the specific features you want, you might have to do a little maneuvering to get there, or deal with some things that don't make sense to you. Like, why is that there? Why did they do it that way? Why do I have to click through so many menu levels to get to this one simple little thing that I want to change?
And
So
people would not buy a basic version of Word. They would want the complete version.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm not basic. My job requires me to have complete. You do? Yeah, really.
yeah. Most of my clients use very little, very tiny portion of Microsoft Word, and then even less for the handful that use Microsoft Excel. And also with Outlook, they're basically using email. I was working with a client yesterday. He's having trouble with the translate feature again because he tried to add another language. He wanted to translate his emails to Spanish. And what he accidentally did is he changed the language for his all the menus and the buttons within Outlook. So once you do that, it's hard to change it back because you can't read that language. So, and this is the second time he's done that. So I connected remotely and got it switched back, and then went through teaching him how to do something when he's in Outlook. When he's clicked on an email, a draft of an email he already typed, he wants to change it to Spanish, translate it to Spanish. Well, when you're in that preview mode where you see the list of emails, and then you see one particular email on the right side, the translate doesn't work in there. It doesn't work the way we need or expect it to. The simple answer was just double click on the email so it opens in its own window, and then we have different capabilities for translate where it's much easier to accomplish. All right, let me go catch up with chat and see what's going on, and see if we can actually get into one of these topics or something that somebody's requesting. Speedy C, option 4 sounds interesting. So I think I've seen 3 and 4. And let's get back to, let's see, it's over here to remind me what 3 and 4 are. Sysinternals and the new channel name. The new channel name is pretty quick to do, so maybe we'll do that and first, then 3. Good morning, Catherine. Why not? He was mentioning the Asus Cache 3 software that got downloaded to his PC and it affected the readings of Crystal Mark. Now, I'm not sure what the why not is reference to some comment that I made. He was mentioning the Asus Cache 3 software. That sounds, the only thing I can think of is she's saying, why not, when I said that it isn't really a reflection of the drive itself. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because the speed test, if it was just pulling its test data from what's in cache memory, then that's not really a reflection on the speed of the drive. It's the reflection of the cache memory. Doug, that's probably not what Catherine was referring to. I don't know. Then Lundog, there was some software that got installed that came from Asus, their Armory update tool. They installed something called RAM Cache 3, which is something I didn't see get installed. He didn't notice that it got installed. What this does is RAM caching techniques, yada, 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 yada. What we've already talked about. And Parker Morse, hello to you. Just to clarify things, it sounds like someone can submit an invoice to PayPal, then you get notification to pay it. That's exactly what it is. You can go into PayPal. You can do this right now on PayPal and request money. When you click request money, you're essentially submitting an invoice to somebody else. And if you doll it up so it looks like a legitimate fake invoice, then it looks pretty believable. Enable two-factor authentication on PayPal accounts for extra security. That's not going to prevent you from getting these messages.
No, will not.
No,
Will
this
not.
is I mean, to interrupt for a second, this is a real
Yeah.
message. I used to sell stuff on eBay a lot, fountain pens. I'm big into fountain pens. And I'd send you'd buy a fountain pen off me, I'd send you an invoice tomorrow for, $300, $400, $500, and it'd be legit. But
Yeah.
it's just me. It's not, I
Yeah.
mean, anybody can send an invoice on PayPal. I mean, that's no big deal.
I think that when I bought Big Beast from Kerry Holzman, I think he sent me an invoice through PayPal. I'm not certain about that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to log into my PayPal account now to demonstrate this. I might wind up wanting to do some blurs. I'm doing that on another screen here to get to it. Yeah. I've never actually tried going through this. Let's see, is there anything on here that I consider private? No, it's a little bit revealing, but I'm not a very private person, frankly. So go here and here. So here's my PayPal account. Jeff shows up here because of his occasional donation. Thank you again, Jeff. So here's this request button. So I'll click on the request button, and you just put in a name, a username, an email address, a mobile phone number. So all the bad guys got to do is come up with something that's valid in PayPal, a valid email address that is associated with a PayPal account, or their PayPal username, or I guess their individual name. Let's see. So, Jeff, can I attempt to show what it would look like to send an invoice to you? All right.
Sure.
So, since Jeff is already connected with me, I can just type in his name and click there, and then click next. Add anyone a request money, split a bill. That's interesting. Include my share. So it sounds like we could share paying a bill, maybe. Add someone else. There's the dollar amount. Not going to add anyone else. Can I put in the dollar amount here? It's not letting me do that here. It's got a blinking cursor there, like I could type an amount. What's this payment for? Add someone else? No. What's this payment for? Let's see. New Slinky. And request now isn't available. Is it maybe because
You got to put in a dollar amount.
Yeah, it's not letting me. Click over here. It's not letting me put in a dollar amount. Don't add somebody else. Request money.
Try clicking where the dollar.
the back arrow work on the zero?
Click where the zeros are. I'll bet you can start typing in something.
Ah, there. Yeah, I can't backspace. I got it. Oh, maybe that was even down here. Maybe if I just type number. Nope, I can't do anything down there. But up here, I can.
All right.
Oops, not anymore. I did type. Oh, now there it goes. $22
up there, and if you split the bill, you could add another name, and it would show what each of us were supposed to send you.
All right. Well, I gotta pick on Ken Stout, right? Oh, he is in here.
Ken's out having coffee, so you can surprise him when he gets back with us.
Right. Include my share. Deduct your share from the total. No, I don't have a share. I want to receive the money. So I'm not splitting a bill. It's coming from someone else.
So it split it between the two of us.
Well, no, it doubled it. So I'm charging to each of you the full amount. So I'm getting double pay. Now, since neither of you are actually going to receive the Slinky, it doesn't matter. Request now. Request sent. Boom, it's done. And then Jeff will just ignore it from his side. Ken will pay it. I assume. No. All right. Somebody might clue him in at some point.
I
That was
just got
just
a message that
demonstrated.
you requested the money on.
All right. Oh, is that?
So-
Let me spotlight you and bring that up to show that spotlight for everyone, and then bring this over, and yeah. So that came into your email. So
Text. This
Oh,
is not
text.
email.
PayPal, you got a new money request. I can barely read it when I look over at the Zoom screen. I'm sure the
Right. Douglas
audience
Betts
won't
sent
be
a
able to.
request for $22.22.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for letting me experiment with you. And then let's see. Let's come back. Continuing on.
Let's see if Ken got one. He's out having coffee with a high school friend.
That should generate some table conversation. Long dog to Greg. I've kind of shied away from using PayPal the last few months because some of the things the company was doing. Thankfully, I rarely ever use it because always funky the way it goes back and forth between the vendor and their PayPal account. Sometimes it's really messy, problematic. Gary, your input and knowledge have been very helpful and useful. You guessed it. He moved on installing Audacity. Well, good. I think that was a good choice. I was catching some of that interaction. This is why lots of my clients use LibreOffice from Sam Lazar. And hello. Did I miss anyone else? Greg, M. I don't recall saying hello. Yeah, I have a small number of clients that use it, but most of my clients are business offices, so they'll pay the money for Microsoft 365. But some of my individuals that I provide support for use LibreOffice, which is a look-alike or work-alike to Microsoft Office. I also told him when you try and use the software, you're going to pull your hair out because this software is used for professional and you need training. So that sounds like he's parroting perhaps what Gary told him. A lot of YouTube videos explaining how to do things. And I kind of get into that with Adobe Premiere and Adobe Elements. I have to go do a lot of Google searching to figure them out because I'm not regular enough with them to really be very proficient, but I can do that because Google's my friend. But there's something not correct about the free version. For 30 days, I think the problem with it still gets installed on the PC. We have very powerful machines. I have Office 20, the Bronc 9. I have Office 2003 since updating to Windows 11. Microsoft can't find my product key. Okay. Yeah, that's good luck dealing with that. You notice that some pretty doggone old version of Office, which I believe I have a copy of, it's buried on XP and possibly Windows 7 machine, but here is my first thoughts, and maybe all you need is an email address. Whoops, nope, that's a different person. It may not work on Windows 10 or even Windows 11. Time has moved on. It's possible they don't even support it anymore. Yeah, I've had recent things that I've had to do with clients. Microsoft Office 2010 definitely, but it seems like there was another one more recent than that, maybe 2013, but 2003, yeah, that's ancient. It probably would still be working on a computer that has upgraded over time from one operating system to another. But if you went like from Windows 10 to Windows 11 on non-supported hardware, I think you might have more of a likelihood of having trouble with that being grandfathered in. I'm pretty sure you would not be able to do an original installation of 2003 because their activation servers, I'm sure, have been decommissioned. I've had various versions of Office over the years, and the license key gets a bit funky on transferring it. Sometimes it's transferable, other times it's not allowed to upgrade or add a new machine. It might all depend upon the type of key it actually is. Yeah, is it the home version? Is it a professional version? Was it an enterprise version? There are a variety of student and home, I think, was one of them. Home and business was another one. There's so many different perversions of each different year of Microsoft Office. It might all depend. A retail key is generally more flexible for moving Office to a new machine, but Office 2003, that's close pretty far back in history, and it's probably a little bit unknown as to its portability. Brock 9 only use Word most of the time. I have law office clients that are still using WordPerfect. And it still is a current product, but they're using obsolete versions of WordPerfect. The law industry foundations were in WordPerfect. Then Microsoft Word came along, and then offices started using that, but a lot of users in the law industry cut their teeth on WordPerfect and have a difficult time moving away from that.
Doug?
Yes.
Actually, a lot of the main law schools, I mean, starting in Harvard, going down to like the top 25, they had main software came out in 85, 86, when WordPerfect was like brand new. And it integrated all the pleadings with the WordPerfect, so you could literally go into it, say, I want to do this, and WordPerfect pop up, and you pull your whole pleading up, and you start just filling in. And since then, attorneys love WordPerfect.
Yeah. WordPerfect did pleadings very nicely, and probably still does. And I did a lot with merged files and filling in fields and stuff. Oh, I still got Jeff spotlighted. You might not have even known that.
Yeah.
And the switch, when Microsoft Word started becoming more popular, I had a learning curve going from WordPerfect to Microsoft Word. In WordPerfect, we had hidden codes and reveal codes. And everything's back in the DOS version based upon the function keys. And I was teaching computer classes back then to office people, and part of my teachings was to teach them some memory gimmicks for actually memorizing all of the function key combinations, because on each function key there were 4 different commands. The command function key by itself, and then shift function key, control function key, and alt function key were all different functions. So I ran them through a quick little memory trick for memorizing those, because they were really useful.
I like WordPerfect much more than Word. I still do.
They actually had keyboards for that.
Gary, go ahead. Sorry.
They actually had keyboards with those on the function keys defined.
Yes.
Different colors.
And there were templates, plastic or paper templates to go above on your keyboard to show what they were. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and finish your comment?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I'm not going to maintain 2 different Office suites. I mean, so I'm sort of stuck with Word. I recently reinstalled Office 2010 Pro on a laptop. I had licenses for it from where I previously worked. It was one of those things that you can get a home license. In fact, I got 2 copies for $10 way back when. And now their home use program is only for Microsoft 365. But Word
from that company.
Well, any company now. That's all that Microsoft offers now is a home use for Microsoft 365. But the thing I don't like about Word is that if you want to be really proficient in Word, like I used to be with WordPerfect, you have to learn a function called styles. And I find that very confusing.
Yeah.
And so I don't do much from home anymore. When I was working, if I wanted to do an engineering report, I would find an old report, strip out all the text, and then refill everything. It was easier than trying to learn the styles and do it from scratch. And that really isn't a good way to do stuff.
Yeah. When I come across a client who's doing some work in Word that I can recognize will be a whole lot easier if they understood styles, I gave up a long time ago initiating that training session to try to teach that to them, because if they're not wanting to learn that, it just doesn't work. But yeah, it took a while to understand styles and to be able to use them efficiently. But I don't have enough need for it now to use it very often. But I do have security policies that I'm working on for one of my clients that involves multiple different Microsoft Word documents. And I'm using styles there so that if I want to change the format across all of the documents, that's pretty easy to do. And that's the power of
Yeah, and
styles.
the other thing I found the last time I was really using Word regularly when I was still working, if I was doing a report and when it got to about 105 or 110 pages total, Word just started to choke. I mean, just was unable to handle a big document very well. Now that may have improved. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why, but I had some documents that were over 100 pages, and I remember machines choking.
And it was right in that neighborhood. It depended on your content a little bit, but
yeah,
it was in that neighborhood of size that I started to have issues. Well, not only me, a lot of the other engineers where I worked, we just all moaned and groaned about it.
Yeah. One of my non-business clients, he's been in my videos occasionally, John Ed, and he's close to 90 years old, I think. He's done a lot of mission work all through his whole life overseas, dealing with water projects. And he has newsletters that he puts out with lots of pictures and lots of text. He's still calling me occasionally to when something, all of a sudden a whole bunch of stuff disappears or is formatted wrong or something like that, and we go troubleshoot and figure out what's going on. But he also gets some large size documents, particularly because of photos. Sometimes the way that he places photos, it has a huge number of bytes that it's occupying. So I have to show him a different way to put the photo in so it's not eating up so much active memory and computer resources. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down through chat without losing my highlight to see if anybody's telling me of problems. Nope. And then here we'll say hello to Chris Garrett. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Doug.
How are you today?
Fine, how you doing?
Good. Do you have any topics to bring up?
I don't.
All right. Then let me go move on in chat.
We got to get you a new channel name and then do number 3.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of start scanning through these quickly, just without reading it all out loud. We're going to checking price for Slinkies. Familiar with all Microsoft products. He swear $3 with coupon. Yeah, but if somebody buys it for $3, then I don't get as much money in my pocket. So buy it from me, please. No more security updates. Well, don't know what that was in reference to. LibreOffice website is just fine. And Microsoft 365, their free version online using a web version of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You have to have a Microsoft account, but you don't have to pay for that. LibreOffice, an update today from Ryan. Sam, I managed to install 2010 on a friend's Windows 11 fresh install. Oh, interesting. Yeah, but then again, was it one of those corporate versions or maybe a student version? Some of them had easier, looser license activation protocols that they used. I'm not studied on that, but that was my impression. I'm borrowed to buy Microsoft. Client has issue with outdated program. I make them upgrade to new version. If they still have issues, then I fix it. Reasonable thing to do. LibreOffice bookmarks, have not used it in a while. Hey, Alex, are you getting all this history from guys? This is way before your time. Few version, few settings. Doug, maybe there's an opportunity for discussion here. Maybe little lessons how to use Word or certain things in Office, just short little lessons. I personally could use the information. I'd love to do that, but I'd like it to be question driven, request driven. And there's been occasions where I've hit the record button when John Ed calls me about something, thinking that I might edit it and then post it, particularly for troubleshooting issues in Word. But the editing just takes so much time. 6 users per year, $99. Yeah, I think last I knew $69 a year for a single user for Office 365, and $99 would be the family, where you can share it with 5 others in your family, so that gets a total of 6 users, and each of them can install on 5 or 6 devices, and each of them get 1 gigabyte of
terabyte.
1 terabyte. Yeah, did I say gigabyte? Yeah, 1 terabyte of OneDrive space, and that can be automatic form of backup. And I use that a lot. Of course, I use OneDrive for sharing between all my devices. So much easier than having to copy things across. 365, yep, by subscription. So many things these days are subscription. I mean, almost everything. Versions of Word where you can specifically get Word at a reasonable price. Don't quote me on this. The CDK deals, I think that's the right name from Carrie Holzman. You can buy Microsoft Office, a outright purchase version of it, like 2016, I think 2019. And it comes out to about similar price that you would pay for maybe, I think it's about 3 years of subscription, but you can only use it on 1 computer. I don't think you can even as a single user use it on multiple computers, maybe 2. Now, I haven't reviewed that recently, so I'm not certain about it. Just want to install Microsoft Office program. I want not all. Yeah, that was a real nuisance. When Microsoft 365 came out, and still, you have to install the whole suite. You can't just pick and choose that you just want Word. And it's a pretty messy suite. And with the business version, Microsoft Teams, no matter you want it or going to use it or not.
Well, actually, Windows 11 comes with Teams now.
Yeah. I've even wasn't Windows 10 even on like a new install after a couple of updates would automatically install Teams?
Not on 10, no.
Not on 10? All right.
Not on
Maybe it's
2010. I mean, Office 2010.
Yeah. I guess it was just the Microsoft 365 that was automatically
But
getting
I
Teams.
bought one of those deals you're talking about for Office 2021.
Yeah.
And it put Teams on every account I had on the computer and set it to start up every time you start your computer, which was kind of irritating. And I just went through and fixed it so it won't start up automatically. It's still there, but I just ignore it.
Yeah, I routinely disable the auto launch from Teams when I'm setting up clients' computers, unless they use Teams. I have one client. Actually, I don't have that client anymore. That's the one I fired. Still happy about that choice.
You ever heard back from those guys about wanting you to come back?
Not to come back, but I did have a contact from one of their employees recently asking me for to help him with his password for one of their online programs, and I called back to help the guy, and the new controlling partner in the business saw my phone call come in on the secretary's phone, and he butted in and he seemed upset that the guy reached out to me for that. He said, I told him to call, and he names the other company that replaced me. So, then he told me, just ignore the message. Don't respond to the message. So I said, okay, and hung up. Wasn't going to talk to him anymore. But yeah, he's nosy that way. He checks up to see who's talking to who on the phone. Oh,
Sounds
I
like
think-
a controlling manager.
yeah. He's not what you call a good people person. And really, what in that instance, I was thinking, man, this is Ebenezer Scrooge. The employee people skills of Ebenezer Scrooge. I'd like to see someday his staff out in front of the building marching on strike. I don't know. All right, coming back here. It's from Sam. The Office 2010 Office install I had was home version, which had WordPerfect,
Yeah.
Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, OneNote, Friends, Windows 11 laptop. It was a single license, which Mom used to use. Microsoft is a bit too much for me. But that Microsoft 365 family plan, $99, 6 people using all of the Microsoft suite, and the online storage and multiple devices. That has always struck me as a really good deal. If you are in a situation where you can use that, and I am, because I've got 2 of my family members using my license. My daughter and my brother Stan are using my family subscription. If you, in fact, the message back from Microsoft was that my license expired in 2018. I just remember I did buy a cheap version from Amazon. That was from Brock 9. If you have a 365 subscription with free Microsoft Mail, you also get 50 gigabytes for your mail. Yeah, you get 50 gigabytes for your mail, and I think also, isn't that your OneDrive space for the free subscription, I think? Can't really afford. Yep, Doug, I was going to suggest Mr. Holzman, CDK Discount Keys. That's a fantastic company. I bought many keys for Windows, and I think Microsoft Office was $65. Whatever it was a good price. Couldn't do $65 right now. But the free version, if you only need Microsoft Word once in a while, the web version is really quite reasonable to use, and it's free. Dennis, I just got my replacement B450 motherboard, old CPU, RA, and GPU work just fine on it. Oh, RAM. Yeah, less than symbol is right next to the letter M. Okay. My old Asus Tough gaming board ain't so tough anymore. Going to recycle. Oh, and he gives his spelling correction there. Yeah, Doug, another clue. This guy's really control freak. Somehow think this is the way the business should be run. Maybe on work for the government. Now, government's. My inclination of government is, if my brother Stan was working for a county government after working in the private world for a long time, and he came in just all gung-ho to be very productive, and it didn't take long at all for his coworkers to say, hey, slow down, you're accomplishing too much, it's making the rest of us look bad, it's going to slow down, this is a government job, it's not private business. If you want to have fun in Excel, do pivot tables to analyze. Never got deep into pivot tables. What are your thoughts about using Google Docs instead of Microsoft Word? Google Docs is free. I have a client who's using Google Docs paid version. They're using the for business version, and they're fully on board with it. So all of their word processing is on a web version of word processing and spreadsheet as well. Yeah, I'm completely fine with Google Docs. I don't have any objection to it. I just don't have business clients requesting that or being already accustomed to it. Jeff to Greg, we use pivot tables to analyze the results from hundreds of engineering calculations and then plot data in Excel. I had a client that's no longer with me that was in the agricultural research industry. They had plots of land in various different places that they had a variety of different crops, and they would be doing all kinds of various different tests on those. And they were hired by mostly agricultural in concerns to test soil and whatever else. But they did a lot of calculations and plotting of data in Excel. By the way, installing Fortnite on it just for tests. Okay, caught up. So let's go deal with subjects that I put over here. So the new channel name idea, it just came to mind a couple days ago, and it's kind of for multiple of my channels. And, well, I have 3 channels actively. Well, I'm also a manager on my brother Stan's channel, but Live Windows Training and Grandpa Doug Learns Fortnite. And then my personal channel, which has my early Live Windows Training content on it. It still has a banner for Live Windows Training, but I'm not really active there. And then I was thinking this last week about adding another channel. So the channel name idea, one of the things that's a disadvantage for this Live Windows Training-DougBetts is that it's so long. And the original purpose or motivation behind that long name is kind of not such a big deal anymore. Of course, I have the domain name, so I have an email address with that, and I actually have a website, LiveWindowsTraining.com, because that's the domain name. But anyway, simpler, shorter name is GD Windows. And the thoughts behind it is what most people are going to come up with the GD, preceding Windows. They're going to come up with a couple of words that they somehow find easy to remember. I'm not going to pronounce those words. Let's just say...
Already in my mind.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Such
yeah.
as
Same
it
thing.
is.
Same thing here. Yeah.
Yeah. But what it actually stands for is Grandpa Doug.
I didn't even know you had a website.
Well, Grandpa Doug was not what I was thinking. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. You were probably thinking, gosh darn.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, yeah, a little bit stronger than that, but yes.
You could always name it GG Windows. Golly gee.
Yeah. Golly.
Surprise.
So that would be,
surprise.
yeah, there you go. Gomer Pyle. That's a shorter name. It's kind of easy for people to find their own memory gimmick, but what the GD would stand for me was be Grandpa Doug, because that's what I use in Fortnite. Now for Windows, is it appropriate? Does it fit? Well, I think it does, because I'm a man of a certain number of years. And that kind of differentiates me from a lot of the other computer channels out there, and some people may find that appealing. So that would be a reasonable motivation to using Grandpa Doug Windows, and gives the gimmick. It's certainly a gimmick of a name that would somebody click on that when they see it, if they see it in their suggested videos and they see a channel named GD Windows, and they're going to think what they're going to think as far as what GD stands for. Would that be causing some people to go check out the channel? Of course, they're not going to stick with the channel.
Windows haters.
Yeah, and if that's what they're looking for, if they're looking for that type of content, then they're probably not going to stick around. But my only motivation behind that reasoning is, would it get them to click on it? Of course, it makes for a shorter name, so it's easier for people to deal with in hitting me in orange in the chat room. And the Live Windows Training-DougBetts, I just don't feel like it's serving a purpose. Now, another reason why I'm intrigued by that is because the 3 channels that I'm tinkering around with as being my my inventory, they can all be that, because the Grandpa Doug Learns Fortnite is also kind of cumbersome, so I could do that as GD Fortnite. Simpler, shorter name, and also may get people clicking out of that curiosity. And then the third one that I was just thinking of this last week would be named GD Life Hacks. If you're aware of Carrie Holzman's channel Life 101, think kind of maybe sort of along those lines, but really more what I would be doing there is, for instance, I got a California middle income refund debit card this last week. Well, back when the other money was coming through for COVID from federal and state, I did some videos about implementing those cards. And they got a lot of views, ton of views, but it's not really the subject matter for my Windows channel. So having a separate channel where I can do those kind of things could be a way for me to put out videos that get a lot of attention, and I can use those to market GD Windows to attract people to come in to this channel. Because my objective is to grow this channel over future years. It has to be way bigger than it is to be serving the purposes that I set out for it to serve. So having 2 other channels that can attract people into the Windows channel is an appealing idea for me. So those are the thoughts. You got any feedback on that? Or should I move on? Lawn Dog says, there is one issue I've always had with searching on YouTube, the term live Windows training, too many choices come back, not specific to you. That's my input to think about. Now, actually, I have already dealt with that. Maybe it's people aren't aware of it enough, so let me go show that. If you go to a new tab, you can do youtube.com/LWTDB. That's the acronym, Live Windows Training-DougBetts, LWTDB. And that'll get you straight to my channel. And then if you just go into search YouTube, well, let's do that in incognito so it's not using my channel sign in. See here, I'm not signed in. So if I search here for LWTDB, that would be for people who know the acronym. It gets straight to my channel. But live Windows training, if somebody is told to go check out this channel, that's just really cumbersome. I think it'll still get you there right away, but GD space Windows will be a lot easier. Now, what does that come up with now? GD Windows. Nothing specific. Windows GD. Different language. Yeah. So, moving on. I'm not sure what it means, but how often I do search for you, I come up with a lot of other stuff I'm not interested in, so throw that in the calculation. Dennis, this is just a joke. Rename the other channel Fortnite Plays Grandpa Doug. All right.
Please stop posted on Shout Chat. You got your $22 invoice.
Oh. As of right now, 3:15 my time, I do not have a request for $22. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't go through. I don't know what that's about. You think on the new name is kind of on track for what you're trying to obtain. I think the key thing to do is to try and see if things improve towards your goals. You certainly can bury it or move on from it if things don't work out. How about Doug's Windows training? The word training isn't serving the purpose that I originally thought it would, so I'm kind of looking to get away with that. And Doug's Windows training, if somebody stumbles across it somewhere or hears it on another channel or sees it on suggested videos, A channel name of Doug's Windows Training has zero curiosity click.
Okay.
What is that? But GD Windows, just because it has the curiosity, because some people are going to misappropriate the initials, such a Jim, might be helpful.
Am I really misinterpreting it though?
No.
When I'm declaring that that's my intent, that people
Okay.
would twist the meaning, that no, you're not misinterpreting it. And it's probably reflective of your opinion, at least on occasion, of Windows. So let's see, got that already. Doug, many of us don't use the keyboard when searching. We use Google search and speech recognition. Try clicking the microphone saying live Windows training. You're going to get a different result. Interesting. Then if I go, let's see, I want to do that. What do I want to do that here?
I have been told by people that know Google search, when it goes through YouTube, only goes through certain amount of views. So if you have 8 views, they're not going to pick up your, what your topic is.
I see.
Because I mean, there's billions out there on YouTube. It'd be crazy to, index everyone.
I'm going to try to dictate a search here. Live Windows Training. Well, that was pretty good.
But try a topic.
DougBetts. I got to do that when nobody else is talking. Oh, but it still found me. Well, but I'm doing this on I'm signed into my account. A topic. Let's see, what was...
I was in an auction buying some laptops, Doug, and I wanted to find out what I could put in them. And I went to literally Lenovo. This was literally this year. And Lenovo didn't actually specify how many M.2 drives I could put into it. I went to YouTube, and some guy literally took the laptop apart and put in 2 drives.
Oh, yeah.
So the point I'm making is his thing actually said the model number and M.2 and RAM and, Wi-Fi upgrade. Point I'm making is people would be looking for that Windows training. It's kind of, oh my gosh, as opposed to, problem with Windows Defender on...
Right. Yeah, the only reason somebody would be searching YouTube for my channel name is if they've been told about my channel from somebody else. That's not really... A channel name is not really a searchable term. You would typically be searching for some specific topic. You're exactly on point. And that's why I'm thinking the channel name, the place where it serves a purpose for gaining viewers is when somebody's getting their suggested videos. Let's see, I need to actually go get to video suggestions. If I scroll down here, yeah, this is the area where a channel name might help in clickability. And a channel name such as GD Windows, but a channel name here, Doug Windows Training, no, that's, and right here, Live Windows Training -DougBetts. Seeing that channel name there, that's not going to cause anybody to click unless they already are somehow aware of my channel and want to check it out. But this title here is where you can, is discovery clicking if it interests a person. If somebody is dealing with the choice of buying a microphone, they might click on this one because they're seeing cheap microphone versus Blue Yeti. And then the searchable videos, let's see, bargain Wi-Fi routers, that could be a searchable term for Carrie there. Ken Stout Live due to a conflict tonight. Nobody's going to be searching for anything that's in that title. So the things that I'm talking about at the moment is the channel name to help make videos more clickable and the titles of the videos. And that was a suggestion recently by you, Gary. And that's why I've started renaming my Windows dailies after they're done to try to come up with something more fitting to whatever topic was handled. And then the other would be something that totally escaped my brain right now.
I have a topic for you to look into.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be ahead of you, but we had one with Lawn Dog the other day with Pro Tools, but forget the Pro Tools. Windows Defender. What does it look at? What does it say? Hey, there's a problem. I have all my career, I've been more the hardware programming, getting on this side. I've done DSPs with modems, Ethernet, communications, and that's getting hardware level. And Windows hates you touching hardware level. If I let you download a program, literally call it Word. I mean, yeah, let's call it program. And tomorrow I'll give you program 0.1, program 0.2. Windows Defender will think that's a different program each time, even though it's just, oh, I corrected one calculation, no problems. But their algorithm, their heuristics says, oh, that's different. Don't let it go through. And it flags it sometimes.
Are you saying that it's thinking that it's recognizing it as a modification to a program and therefore
no, it's thinking it's a whole new program. So we haven't seen this before. Oh, what's program 0.1? Never saw that before. But if you download program, next week program, oh yeah, we know that. Doug downloads that every week. That's fine.
Okay.
But if it's .1, well, never seen that before, better check it out. Not sure. And then if you have a program that checks, let's say, serial numbers, I mean, you have vertical clients or clients with vertical software that they pay per machine or per user or per company monthly, quite possibly, like law offices. Westlaw is another one that gets down into hardware. I don't know if any of your clients have Westlaw, but Windows Defender doesn't like that when you install it. It'll let you install it.
If it's been somehow, let's say, like if it has a signature,
yep.
It ought to be able to get through past Windows Defender. Now, I did see some of that conversation. I think most of the conversation going on regarding the Windows Defender reporting things as suspicious. And Jeff, you said there were files that you created, program files that you created.
That was not with Windows Defender. That was with a commercial program quite a number of years ago now. And
yeah,
what I did to fix that, I simply blocked the antivirus software from looking at certain folders on my external drive where I have that stuff archived. But that brings up a question. If you wanted to talk about Windows Defender, is there a way to exclude it from looking at certain areas of your disk?
Files, yes, and folders.
I believe so. So let's go take a look at that.
I don't normally run it. I was running it the other day. I shut off my Kaspersky because it was fiddling with something I didn't want. And then Windows Defender stopped me from copying some files.
We have a division that sends to the Department of Defense, and we can't run Kaspersky because it's a Russian software.
Oh, I understand. I understand.
No, that's a government thing that Doug was just talking about.
I know. I worked for government contractors my whole life, and a lot of them tend to use McAfee, the ones I was experienced with, which just makes me pull my hair out. But
I've actually met him before he committed suicide. He was a wild guy.
So here's the exclusions for Windows Defender. Microsoft Defender antivirus won't scan items that you've excluded. Excluded items could contain threats that make your device vulnerable. So going in to see what specifically it lets us add as exclusions. Is it specific files or is it folders? There we go. File, folder, file type, process. That's just about as flexible as you could possibly want.
Okay, so you can mark a folder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a folder can be a drive for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I do these days, I have a couple of external drives in which I archive a lot of stuff. And right now, I basically have got the entire drive blocked.
Yeah, here I'm gonna see if I can select
And I rely on the antivirus stuff to keep me from downloading stuff I shouldn't, and I leave it active on my internal drives.
Yeah, here
Okay.
I've added the exclusion for the entire F drive to just show that can be
Okay.
done. I'm taking that off, but I have another question for you, Jeff. The programs that you were creating that were being blocked or flagged or whatever we want to call it, what were they? What was their nature? What were they doing? Were they doing
They
some
were
kind
a
of utility?
simple Fortran program to do a simple engineering calculation.
Okay.
And they were done with the Microsoft compilers or the Leahy Fortran compilers. I mean, this is ancient stuff
Yeah.
these days. But it surprised me when they got flagged. Some of the stuff I've had problems with recently are programs that install software. Like you buy some software and you download
Yeah.
an installer for it. And that happens occasionally, and you just have to deal with it.
Okay. Moving along in chat. You mean I have to pay all of it? That was the bill that I sent to them. Wouldn't it? Sounds fishy to me. Bronc9, as your title includes training, how about doing training courses? I'm not. I don't want to. I've done training courses in the past. I've created them. I've taught them. I don't enjoy doing that. What I want to do on this channel is to help people with issues that they're having. Now, it's not out of some altruistic thing that, oh, I want to help people. It's I want to do the work that I get paid for in a supposedly free environment. Supposedly free because it's not really free. You have to spend time watching. And that winds up generating revenue for me. But training courses, that's a lot of prep work. I just don't want to do that. The work that I'm doing in my consulting business is fixing problems, fixing issues, making computers run better. And the word training was intended to be teaching others who are watching my channel how to fix the problems that I demonstrate fixing on the channel. Yeah, so yeah, training course is not going to work for me. Training suggests to me that it's a formal course, which is a turnoff for many people. Another reason for dumping that name. I think GD Windows sounds like an improvement. All right, thank you, Selden. Hi, everyone from Scotland. Hello, Martin Hogg. Oh, Martin, I've got an email from you that I need to tell the audience about. Glad I saw your name. All right, so I'm going to go bring up that email. Now, I'm probably not going to display the email unless I take the time to blur out some things. I don't think that's important. I'll just read it to you. The part I wanted to blur out is there's a little bit of personal information there that's not appropriate to display. So he says, let's see, this email came in yesterday. Hi, Doug. I really appreciate the quality time you give your community. Skipping one sentence, I can now give you an update on this PC. I have a friend who enjoys repairing motherboards, so I asked him to take a look. This is the computer that was HP all-in-one that wouldn't power on. And he says he has a thermal imaging camera. This friend of his, good friend to have. He has a thermal imaging camera, and this showed a number of components overheating on the board. He changed a couple of components and extracted the processor, which had a bent pin. He heated and fluxed some joints and replaced the CMOS battery. It now boots, but I'm unable to identify which of the faults was the cause. I have upgraded the RAM from 3 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes and am currently cloning the drive to an SSD using a Cronus. So thank you once again for your time and advice. I enjoy your channel. Regards, Martin.
I believe I made a comment during that probably was the motherboard that was the issue.
Yes, you did. You did. I recall that. Now, I made a comment that I'd want to try. Oh, I didn't want to display that. I made a comment that I thought you should replace the CMOS battery because I've had that fix HP all-in-one. So they did replace the CMOS battery, but they did it in combination with these other things. So it's possible that CMOS battery did the fix. It's possible the motherboard, the work the person did on the motherboard did the fix. Of course, if you don't have easy access to someone who does that kind of work, then Jim and I would say, replace the computer.
Well, it's 13 years old, and you probably need to replace it anyway. But that besides the point. The components that were probably heating up were shorted caps because that's a typical problem with boards of that style.
Yeah.
Likely.
Probably popped them.
Because they were overheating components, I feel less optimistic that the CMOS battery was the solution.
No, I don't think. No, probably not.
Probably not.
The bin CPU pin was not the thing because it had been pinned for 13 years, so that was the non-starter. And actually, if you take a CPU out and go to Intel or AMD, you probably have 40 or 50 pins that are not even valid pins.
Yeah, they don't use all the pins, so that could be. Now, the other piece is that I don't think we know. Martin might know it. Is it possible that? Well, no, I think he did tell us that is this. I was going to say, is it possible somebody else got their hands on it and removed and replaced the CPU, just took it out of socket and put it back in, refresh the thermal compound and stuff like that, and bent a pin, then it wouldn't work. But I think he told us that this computer was in use, and then one day it just stopped working.
I like the CMOS idea first, then the caps.
Well, because of the ease of replacing a CMOS battery, I still would have done it. Even in hindsight, I would like to see that did not solve the problem. But now, what he didn't tell us, though, after the repair, do those components no longer overheat? It sounds like this person that was doing this work was probably sufficiently experienced to know that is abnormal overheating. Some components I would expect are warmer than other components, but I don't know. My gut tells me that was probably valid, that those were legitimately overheating. And now he said that he changed a couple of components, so that's presuming that was the ones that were overheating. As Jim suggests, perhaps they were the capacitors. All right, continuing on. I think a couple occasions I pressed that button and it didn't work, and I didn't realize it. To get back here to chat. Well, Doug, for some reason, when I use that search phrase using speech recognition, YouTube, I get a bunch of different other people. Lawsuit incoming. GD Windows Limited. Oh, really?
Yeah, he found that on Facebook. That was pretty funny.
GD Windows, manufacturing aluminum windows, doors, joinery, carpentry skills. Okay, so if somebody mistakenly finds my YouTube channel, Lead GD Windows,
how much of a problem is that going to be since they're in England?
None. Well, none. But if they're doing a search, here's my point. If they search that because they're involved in this lawsuit or something like that, and they accidentally discover my channel and then become a regular viewer, hey, that's a score.
Yeah. Well, that's Domino's Pizza. Domino's Sugar sued Domino's Pizza.
Oh, yeah. They probably get a lot of results that way, huh?
We actually placed the CIO. My wife placed the CIO at both Domino's Pizza and Little Caesars Pizza. From this, hired them both from the same company.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Because they're about 30 miles apart, headquarters.
A note to myself for later on. All right. This is in YouTube search rather than Google search. Greg, maybe I did not phrase that correctly. I was talking about a search while you're in the YouTube channel rather than searching in Google. If I use Doug's name, I will get exactly what I want, but he's making a very good point. That means I already know the person and where I want to go rather than someone looking for help to find Doug's channel. That's a difficult concept to overcome. Unfortunately, GD Windows is a company which sells aluminum window frames. Yeah, I would have no problem using GD Space Windows as a YouTube channel name, even though that is out there. In fact, I think it would be marginally beneficial to me. Per the link provided by Wintermute. To Ken Stout, how's your day going? And then 2 flags by Windows Defender had something to do with memory protection. So I told Windows Defender to allow, but you have to be quick when the flag comes in the lower right-hand corner. Click on it quickly, then go to the steps. If you miss that comes up in the bottom right corner, you should be able to go to notifications and find it in your notifications to get to that message if it doesn't stay on long enough. Forbin Colossus, I found Doug via Carrie. Many of the people here did. FYI, many YouTubers are changing their names from generic sounding words to their specific names. You must know their name and topics to find them.
Hey, Doug?
Yes.
I apologize for interrupting you. There is a Windows GD in YouTube who has 583 subscribers.
I
Not
think
GD Windows.
Yeah, I think I had seen that when I did a check. Why can't I get back to the right place here?
I don't know the language, but it's
Windows
probably Ukrainian,
GD.
maybe.
Yes. Yeah, here Windows GD. And I think that came up when I did GD Space Windows. And that the letters GD for them might be something to do with their locale. Let's see, what does this say over about? So if I take that, go to a new tab, translate, and then Control V, paste. Come subscribe, funny Windows errors are already here. Yeah.
Russian.
All right. That's a password. Let's see, I'm kind of scanning through here to get onto something else. There's a password revealer that was getting caught by antivirus. Ken Stout, still nothing from PayPal. You might check my address. It looked odd when you did it. Huh. Yeah, was that actually our Ken Stout? I was going to say, was that actually my Ken Stout? But that sounds a little creepy. There it is.
Actually, I'm on your channel right now, Doug.
Yeah.
And if you go, here I'm a post. Hi, Doug. And if you go, it says go to my channel. That is not me.
Oh yes, I saw that. It's your name with like 4 numbers after it.
Yeah, and it's not me.
I wanted to ask you some questions about that, if you don't mind, because that
Sure.
is a very curious thing. But let me finish this piece that I'm going through here. I'm getting a security challenge from PayPal. Pick the rabbit. Oh, which one of these is a rabbit? That's a new form of security challenge. Oh, all right. I think I've got a incorrect password stored somewhere. Yeah, I've got like multiple different passwords remembered for PayPal.
Don't pick Jimmy Stewart.
Don't what?
Jimmy Stewart. Harvey.
Jimmy Stewart.
Harvey the rabbit.
Harvey the rabbit. That's over my head. I don't know that cultural reference.
There was a movie with Jimmy Stewart where there was an invisible rabbit named Harvey.
Oh, all right.
If memory serves.
Yeah. Maybe I'm older than I am. I don't know.
So it turns out I actually have 3 different PayPal accounts, or 4, because this is not the same one. Ugh. Doing too many things. Because when I highlight those different PayPal remembered credentials, I've got different email addresses, and the only one that has the right one is not accepting the password. So I'll have to pursue that later. I got into it earlier. Right, where do I want to get this back to? Oh, Gary.
Yes.
Let's go look at your what we were talking about back then when this came up was the 3 dots over on the right side, where you can click to go to channel.
And I don't know if you can see, I mean, I obviously everybody has a channel, but I don't know if you can see my actual YouTube sign on in your side. I think you can, and that's not my sign on.
Okay, well, if I go to your channel here, so Gary Weissenberger 5161, but the name of it is Gary Weissenberger, and the icon is a purple G. So is that what's showing up here for your name? Yeah, it is. So that matches. It does not bother me at all that they have this name, because YouTube came up with this for the shortened names recently. They assigned everybody these shortened names as a way to get to a person's channel. This does not mean it reflects anything about your sign-on credentials.
I know. Plus, I've been on YouTube longer than that.
So if we go to About, it shows joined January 30, 2020. So you didn't create this account then?
I've never created that account. Matter of fact, I have a cousin in Cincinnati, Ohio, who has the same name, and he beat me to Gmail by 1 day.
Okay, well then if you go to, I'll demonstrate this by going to YouTube Studio. So if you go, forget about being on this page. You could be anywhere in. Let's see. I'm going to go to a different screen. You don't have to be on your channel at all. You can just be displaying videos, and up in the upper right corner, you should see your purple G, and then go to YouTube Studio. And this gets to your dashboard. Even if you have no content, you still have this operating environment. And then it should be going to settings, and then click on channel. Is that the place I want to go? I'm looking for.
Yeah. I have one with the same name, but the different. I don't have the numbers after it. The 5, 6, whatever it's called.
Well, that wouldn't show up here. We haven't got to the place of seeing that. I think you go to, is it customization? Oh, branding. I bet that's it. Branding, picture, banner, image. Nope, that's still not it. Where would, yeah, here, name and handle. So here, name should say Gary Weissenberger. Here, handle, I think it's going to have those 4 digits. I think this is the only place where you're going to find those 4 digits.
No, but when I go to up at the corner, it says my channel when I'm actually on the dashboard.
Yeah.
It doesn't take me there. I don't get that same name.
Okay, but you shouldn't see the 4 digits when you go to your channel, because that isn't displaying. Well, here it shows.
No.
It does show here.
If you go to dashboard, yeah, mine doesn't show the 4 digits. So whoever's got the 4 digits is using the same.
Dashboard. Where did you get that? Was that in Studio? Yeah, that's in Studio. So you go to Studio and then Dashboard. Here, those.
I just hit the picture up there. Okay.
Yeah, the handle's not going to show up here.
No, hit the picture. Hit your picture.
Oh, here?
Over on the far left.
On the far left, upper left. Okay, view your channel on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. If you hit that, it'll show you.
Okay, so then that does show the URL. So when you hit that, are you getting
I'm
the
not
name?
getting the. No, I'm getting a
You're
different
not.
one. I'm getting mine, not the one that shows up from the.
So you do you see an @ symbol?
Yeah, I bet I don't get the last 4 digits. So I get mine.
So you get the @ symbol and then Gary Weissenberger without the 4 digits.
Correct.
Ah, all right. Yeah, that's don't seem right at all.
Well, we had that. We were looking at that about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. With I think it was with Ken Stout, maybe,
Yeah.
and we were come up with something where it looked like they had something, maybe a fake character in between the name. Like I think it was with Alex, maybe.
All right.
If I
So
remember, because I
there
think
you're saying if I go back to this incorrect one, go to your channel, and you're speculating that there's something else in these characters that is either these characters or these characters that is not
something
right.
somewhere is picking up something.
Well, this part you can create a YouTube channel that shows up with this same exact name. These are not unique. What's unique are your sign-in credentials and your URL,
Correct.
whatever they call that.
And that is, I've never seen that, and that I don't get that when I go to it myself. When I sign on, I don't see that, so I don't know what that is. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Well, what the word that when you
Well,
say
I
that,
can,
you mean the 5161.
right. I can do what you did. I can go to the channel right now. I mean, that's no big
Yeah.
deal, obviously, but I can't change or control this channel.
Oh, so if you go to YouTube Studio,
That is not my channel, YouTube Studio.
and when you get to Studio, you're not able to change things in here?
Why doesn't show up for me?
I'd have to.
In other words, I get mine, not that one.
Yeah, I don't
So when I
suppose
go to
you're.
it from, let's say I go through it from your channel, I don't. If in other words, right now I click on mine that I just posted, just like you did. I go to the channel you see, but if I go to it through my dashboard, when I'm signed on looking at your channel right now, I'm go to dashboard, I don't see the same thing, and I can't change the handle for the 5641.
Would you be interested in doing a remote session with me, not live, that I could have the opportunity to edit if needed, so we can document this symptom?
Sure, but not. Yeah, maybe next week or something, one day.
Yeah, not during a live session. You and I can communicate by email and come up with a time.
Sure.
And for anyone who's wondering, I know Gary has some privacy concerns, so we don't want to do him live. All right. No, remote connection.
I'm too
Am I right?
opinionated for real life.
Pardon me?
I'm too opinionated for real life.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me get back here.
No.
And you're correct, Wintermute, except that's not me. I can't change it.
It's my thoughts channel name. I like the term Live Windows Training because, Lawn Dog says he likes the term Live Windows Training because it implies interaction and participation. I think I can accomplish interaction and participation through the thumbnails and titles. And Live Windows Training, yeah, it implies interaction, but it also kind of implies courses like people suggested previously. Anyway, food for thought. Person who comes by it for the first time may be seeing your channel has been recorded and posted on YouTube, but after watching the episode may realize that they can join live and participate. Well, a lot of my thumbnails are showing the word live and Zoom sessions. That's a problem, is that you don't know what the issue was. That's referring back to that HP all-in-one, I think. Corbin, if the board is overheating for any reason, if there is a test one can perform that tests all the parts on the motherboard. No. If the board is overheating or for any reason, is there a test one can perform that tests all the parts on the motherboard?
No.
No. Only maybe only in the sense that is the computer working? Then all the parts are probably working. But no. It's because the parts are what are involved in reporting the functionality. So if there's any software that was trying to query the parts, if the parts aren't working, then they're not reporting. It's like folding their arms and saying, no, I'm not going to talk to you. So no.
He needs to watch Adam at IT, because he does a lot of board repair type stuff. And it's almost always shorted caps, and they're almost always heat up under a thermal imaging camera.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are fascinating people to watch them work. On component repairs, in my fantasies, I could do that work, but I don't want to take the time to learn it. And I don't have a market in front of me for it. Ken, we had a power outage and my fish tank isn't working. Try to figure and fix that. The fish tank isn't working, so it's not holding water. That's what a fish tank does. It holds water. It's not holding water. Did you see my comment to you about PayPal? Yes, I did. But I can't get back into my account right now. Play with using bets, play some such. Yeah, me and my brothers, we have played with all bets are off is a real frequent one. Whatever the conversation is, if you do such and such, then all bets are off. And it's usually a double entendre about we're kind of off our rockers. Which I don't really hold that to be true. It's just our humor upon ourselves.
Did you, Doug, did you lose some? Okay, you were frozen for a good while for some reason on Zoom. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
You're fine now,
aware.
but you were frozen
Right.
for like, I don't know, at least a good 15 seconds.
All right. Did anybody else see that in chat or in Zoom? Selden Ball, PayPal might the recipient of your Slinky invoice have reported it as a scam. I'm gonna guess that Jeff didn't do that. Now, Ken, yeah, maybe as far as I know, Ken did receive it and he reported as spam. Do we trust Ken when he says he hasn't gotten anything from Doug today? I don't know if I do. That's sort of my point. It was sent to the wrong Ken, who might not have appreciated it at all. Yeah, it might have been the wrong Ken. I will go check on that later. Good point, or maybe just pays without question. Gary says yes and no about multiple channels.
To post on YouTube, you have to have a channel, and I have a few sign-ons.
Yeah, to be able to interact with chat room, you have to have a channel. Having that is it right there, even if you don't post videos. Hi there, your handle is reserved, your handle at LWT, your additional channel URL. I don't like this @ symbol that they're doing, because the @ symbol wasn't required for me to get LWT, but the thing the @ symbol does is that if somebody else already had LWT, then I could maybe get it with the @ symbol. So mine works either way, I believe. If you do youtube.com/@LWTDB, that'll get you to the same channel. But since I got that LWTDB handle before YouTube decided to do it on their own, I was able to get it without the @ symbol. On my channel, the @ symbol is simply the same as my name. Yes, but you can go change that. And that whole feature is what they did. So let's go show how to change that. If I go into, I don't want to change to my other channels while I'm streaming. I don't believe that'll cause a problem, but let's go to Studio. So any of you should be able to do this now, although they said they were only rolling it out to selected audience at first. But then go to Settings, and then Channel, and then I went wrong again, didn't I? Nope. Yeah, this is the wrong place. Not settings. Customization. Customization, basic info, down here. You should be able to change your handle.
Handle and name. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can change your name, but you're only allowed to do that twice in 14 days. Now, what I did to originally get this is I changed the name of my channel to LWTDB so that I could secure this name before they had the @ symbol. And then after securing my handle as LWTDB, I was able to change the channel name back to LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts, because you can do that twice in 14 days. And a good fish joke. Oh, the fish tank working. Selden to Greg, I have 2 sub-channels. The other one has no numeric suffix. The newer one, the one I'm using to type this, does have a numeric suffix. I don't know why, since no one else has the name. Now, see, that's on point with what I was first thinking about Gary's situation, is that with the channel name of Gary Weissenberger, when YouTube came along and wanted to assign handles to people, they added the 4 digits onto his handle, and then it started showing up. But it appears that's not what's going on. I'm assuming what you're saying about the power outage, if the power's come back on and the pumps start working, chances are the pump needs some maintenance, meaning cleaning. That's probably how Google differentiates between channels with the same name. Perhaps they affix a numerical suffix. Actually, before they started doing these handles, I believe what it was is what was unique was this piece up here. If you previously would go to your channel, there'd be this part of the URL that's just really totally funky weird. And that was how YouTube differentiated between channels. The pump, especially the impeller, everything else proper-wise is working. Forbin Colossus, I tuned in late. But if you're seeking broader channel names, how about Live Windows Help or Live Computing Help? No, that's not what I'm seeking. I believe people will know that refers to PCs. What I was looking towards doing is a shorter name that would be easier for people to deal with like if you're on a mobile device and you try to do a chat comment towards me, on a mobile device, when you type the first few letters, you do not get a suggestion that you can click on. On a mobile device, you have to type the whole thing out and type it correctly in order for me to see your comment in orange. And more about what I'm trying to do here is I have currently 2 channels and I want to add a 3rd channel. So one would be GD Windows. And we talked about the merits of whether that would be appealing. And then GD Fortnite. And in each case, GD stands for Grandpa Doug. But certain types of individuals will assign a different value to the variables of G and D. And then the other one is GD Life Hacks. And the thinking of, since some people will assign those other values to the G and the D, would that make my thumbnails a little more clickable, along with making shorter channel names and giving me consistency across my channels? And the reason why I'm interested in consistency is because I'd like for my Fortnite channel and my Life Hacks channel to bring more audience to the Windows channel. So that's me re-speaking the motivation behind this thought process, which helps me to re-speak it. Normally when the power goes out, as you know, of course, everything starts when the power comes on. If the pump does not resume operation, there's the problem with the impeller. Let's start skipping through some things a bit. Test extension cord, internal pumps, power on, breaker, power, fees using breaker, GFCI, ground fault circuit. Oh, Google darn Windows. Tim is saying that the G and the D means. Or is he saying I should Google that term?
I think he's making a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a joke. It's a joke. The LOL is a required clue for any Doug to catch that. How about live PC repair? Well, that'd be nice if I was doing a lot of that. I'm not getting enough of that work to be able to provide content. So what I'm trying to focus on is getting more people coming in with questions that I can respond to in a more thorough fashion than most other YouTube channels that field questions regarding computer issues. Go ahead.
I have to throw out, how about live Windows solutions?
All right.
Something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. The struggle that I'm having is the word live bringing the audience that I intended it to bring, and what I intended it to mean is live streams, which I'm doing. These are live streams, and people do get live responses to their questions. So live Windows solutions, yeah, that has a lot of meaning to it. When somebody sees that as the channel name, when they're looking at a thumbnail, when they're looking through thumbnails here, live Windows solutions, would that cause them to click on it? Maybe yes. That does have some merit. It doesn't have the tie-in with the other channels. Now compare it to GD Windows. GD Windows has no hint whatsoever about it being live. The thumbnail, like this thumbnail, Windows Daily, that doesn't give any hint of it being live. The channel name in this instance gives it a hint of being live. Now I can certainly do a thumbnail that does communicate that it's live and that people can get live solutions, even live Windows solutions. Now here, solving computer troubles, that's been somewhat applicable to Windows Daily, but live Windows solutions instead of solving computer troubles, that has some merit. If the live Windows solutions does not give me the tie-in to my other channels. If somebody is watching GD Fortnite and they follow me there and Grandpa Doug Fortnite, and then they see a channel name of GD Windows, they could be making a connection there that attracts them or repels them, frankly. Same thing with GD Life Hacks. So, thank you for helping me work through the ideas, people. Live PC repair. I like live Windows solutions better than live PC repair. PC repair would be, if I was actually repairing a computer, that would make a whole lot of sense. Like, there are some channels that are doing that because they get enough of that. And their videos are edited. They're not putting out as frequently because there's so much work in producing a video. That's Fish Tank. Martin Hogg, as per my email, thanks for your help and guidance. I appreciate the time you spend. How about DB Windows Help Desk? Okay, so let's focus on Windows Help Desk. That is similarly feasible, like Live Windows Solutions, Windows Help Desk, Live Windows Help Desk. In this instance, I don't see that the DB is useful at all. I don't see that that's attracting clicks. As opposed to GD for Grandpa Doug. Not because they're attracted to Grandpa Doug, but again, it's a little bit of a cheesy clickbait that they might click on it because they apply the different meaning to those letters. And I want to be careful about, setting up 3 channels along those lines. Do I really want to use that? Because frankly, it is a little bit cheesy to intentionally be intending for people to be misinterpreting the meaning of the letters.
Well, you could.
But I can't.
Sorry. Remember Saturday Night Live? They had Chevy Chase said, I forget his name, Franco in Spain was still alive and dead for day 387, 394. You could do that. Windows is still alive and Linux is still alive. GD Windows, when 2, 3, 4, kind of numbering them forever. Start your thing every day.
Is that numbering the episodes? You
Right.
gotta remember you're pulling a cultural reference on me that I don't get.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live I didn't watch enough of for me to get that.
Didn't either, but it was kind of cute. No, I was joking. In other words, GD Windows is definitely clickbait.
Yeah.
So you could do a 1 second, plug for Linux and then go into Windows. In other words, gosh darn, Linux is still here. Let's do Windows now.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, you covered your clickbait when they said, wait a minute, he's all talking about Windows.
Oh, okay. You're saying to give some kind of meaning to the gosh darn Windows.
Yeah.
When they first come in, before I break their.
Yeah, it's a quick kind of humor joke, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One light tip of the day for Linux, and then go to Windows. Sometimes.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. Electricity, kilowatts, 20 years ago, kilowatts, light working internal pumps, Edison Electric Company got solar. I have been avoiding solar. They come to I usually don't want to answer the door. If I answer the door in a weak moment, when I discover they got their solar, nowadays I'm getting pretty rude with them because they won't take no for an answer. Go ahead.
We have a gated street, and they actually came through the gated street. And from Google, they have our address, our whole street on Google, which everybody's is. You cannot see the top of our house because of the trees. And they try to sell us solar.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
The whole street.
Yeah.
There's no house you can see the top of the house.
I ran into the same problem with this was several years ago. I think we were in Home Depot and somebody started talking to me about solar, and I started laughing. And they looked at me like, why are you laughing? I said, you have no idea what my property looks like. And I don't remember if I showed them either on my phone or they were in front of a computer or something, and I gave them the address and I said, go look at Google Maps and look at this property. And you tell me whether solar is going to be anything that I'm going to even remotely consider. You could not see 2/3 of the house because of the trees.
And these are older trees on our property. So I'm not cutting healthy trees for solar. And I'm in Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thing to the guy. I said, first of all, I'd have to invest at least anywhere between $12,000 and $20,000 to remove the trees before I even think about the solar. What do you think your chances are? And he says, okay, yeah, I give up.
Though in Michigan, we can sell our solar back to DTE, Detroit Edison.
Yeah, we can too, but there's some limits to how far you can go with that.
We're in Michigan. We have no sun.
Oh, all right.
Here in Nevada, the limit is you can't install solar that's nominally will provide more than 95% of what you're currently using off the grid.
Yeah, we
Now
have.
they have ways to tweak that so that part of the year you are actually getting more, since it's based on a year-round average.
If you could show me how to lower my electric bill, I would. Never mind what I would do, but my bill's over $500 a month, so I would do anything to lower it.
All right, I'd like to get past the solar conversation here, as it's not my channel's topic. But I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to add one more thing to this, is because the solar salespeople at my door, they tried to use clickbait on me. So how do you use clickbait at knocking on the door? Shortly after, 1 or 2 days after, a couple guys came to the door and I was rudely rejected them. A very, very attractive 20-something girl came to my door alone. And when I opened the door and realized she was solar, I'm certain they were trying to get me to say yes to her, in which case her partners who are waiting on the next property would come in and meet with me. No, I declined her, but that was clickbait at the front door.
There's somebody knocking on my door at least twice a month.
Oh, yeah. On the phone calls. Good gosh. Now, I'm not going to get into why I'm refusing it because that'll be a long conversation. That's not on topic. That would go on my Life Hacks channel if I wind up doing that. Let's see. Moving on. Moving. PC repair or live PC repair sounds more like doing hardware on a PC. Yes, I agree with that. Somehow PC. So Windows Solutions is more specific to my capabilities and talents. Hardware repairs, yeah, somewhat, but I'm very high level with hardware repairs, meaning I don't get down so deep as some of the others do. Would GD Windows Solutions ties to your other channels? Yeah, GD Windows Solutions. Yeah, that would be Grandpa Doug Windows Solutions. That would, so GD Windows is what I was originally saying. GD's Windows Solutions. That's a good enhancement to what I was thinking. It's still that's getting the length back. That's a little bit on the longer side. See here, Live Windows Help is even shorter. So Live Windows Training. You know what? Live Windows Help is far more appropriate than Live Windows Training. My original visions of Live Windows Training was that I'm training the people reviewing the videos to be able to support others. So like doing things like talking about how I interact with my clients who don't understand that wireless mice need batteries. How do you interact with somebody like that without making them feel foolish or looked down upon? That's something that I have pretty strong feelings that I want technicians to be better at, not causing people to feel inadequate. You could just keep your current name, then just log in with different browser with your DougBetts name. Yeah, in order to get to different areas. Yes, absolutely, Chris. I think you were referring to that time back there when I was not wanting to change my channel name. I could have opened a different browser for that. Many channels which usually have live streams have the word live in the bottom of their channel's avatar icon. Do people look at that? So the avatar icon in these thumbnails is not available. So you're not seeing the avatar. The avatar of the like we see over here. I think that's what he's referring to. Windows Help Live. These are short words, fewest syllables. DougBetts Live works for me. Names. Now, DougBetts Live doesn't give any hint that this is for computers or Windows. It's like I'm some kind of famous person and you're getting to interact with me live. Yes, that one doesn't work for me. Names alone didn't slow Kerry Holzman's growth. Kerry Holzman's growth, it's not possible for me to replicate the method that he got here because he got started so early. The competition was easier back then. He was consistent through the time. He started out with his radio show. He started out with the company that he was working for that he was doing the videos for them. He developed an audience through other means, the radio show that he was doing and the company that he was working for, so that when he had a channel of his own name, he already had somewhat of a following. And it was earlier days. There's more competition now in computer technical help than there was then. So I'm not going down his same path. By the same token, somebody who wants to become a computer consultant and they ask, how did I do it? They can't follow my path the way that I got here. Not possible. In large part, they should have an easier path because they have the internet now. The internet didn't exist when I started. Well, it existed, but Google didn't. Windows, as we know it today, didn't exist. Internet was dial-up modems to CompuServe and to AOL, to local bulletin board services. What else? Yeah, so it was a different process. My 2 cents, clickbaits are funny once, then they become annoying. Yeah. Oh, the GD Windows Live, the GD as a clickbait, my thumbnails would not be a clickbait. I could not possibly get away with putting a clickbait image that would be focused at attracting a Jeff Ryman to click. Sorry, Jeff. I look over at him. I guess I was trying to say an attractive, scantily clad woman. I can't. No, that's not going to happen.
Working her way through college.
Yep.
Yeah, right. There are some things to know. Sorry?
Never mind.
All right.
Very
There's something
Scammed by that in the old days too. I mean, like 20 years ago, magazine sales.
Yep.
Oh yeah, magazines. Yeah, sure. Well, heck, all these when I have had times when I wondered, should I be more careful when I bring up my suggested YouTube videos? I mean, some of these get kind of racy, but they know I'm a man of around 65 years old in a couple weeks. And so I get those kind of, I figure, no, everybody's got to be seeing those kind of things, depending upon who they are. I'm guessing. Moving on. Football update, 4 teams left. Yep, that's all I care about that. Moving on. Very major consideration. Leasing companies been in contract, a 3% increase every year to the original starting price of your lease payment. And that must be some chit chat going on that I'm out of the loop on. Moving. Solar. Now I own 17 years. All right. How far behind am I? Oh, not all that bad. Solar, electrical. Candidate for solar, a few sentences, solar panels. I seldom ball on my YouTube page. All the suggestions include channels icon avatar immediately below the episode's thumbnail. Well, yeah, when you go to your home page, but when you've just watched a video, you see them over here. When you go to your, let's see, like here, yeah, you see the avatars underneath them. So that would perhaps work for if their only clue that it was live shows up on the avatar as opposed to somehow in the video. And so this thumbnail right here, Zoom session, live Saturday. Those 2 comments right there, live Saturday and Zoom session. Those 2, I think, give a significant statement about this being live and that you can actually come in on Zoom. Down here, Windows Think Tank, I was kind of attracted to that name, that it's, putting our heads together to solve issues, which is very much what we do. Thank you, everyone. LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts, does this channel name help make it clickable? All right, well, that's the question. Jury's still out. Some space, that's solar. This is solar. Pumps, solar. Maps, solar. $500 a month for electricity is not good move financially. I am sometimes up in that neighborhood. Many people would feel that that I should have solar, but my reasons against it, like I said, I don't want to go into, but I'll eventually get there, but I'm not there yet. My property is fine with it. Let's see, you've done well in life, wonderful life, happy. Forbin, my opinion, the word live should be last, not first. You are helping with Windows or computing. That belongs first, in my humble opinion. So, GD Windows Live. Well, GD Windows Help Live. GD Windows Live. GD's Windows Help Live. More leaning more towards GD Windows Help Live. GD Windows Live somehow is not appealing to me as much. Many people I consider less in education, most importantly devotion, have better incomes. Circuit board. From Ken. Can you not see how many people go to and or see your channel by search clicking? Okay, so that he's talking about analytics. So if I go to, here, that's not this channel. Somehow I got switched to, I'm looking at, that's Google Chrome. Here. Yeah, this is the channel. YouTube Studio, and then analytics. Then what we want is content, audience, revenue, content, audience. I think audience to see where the viewers are coming from. Returning viewers, unique viewers, subscribers. So what's what here? The purple line. Oh, here we're looking at returning viewers. All of these are returning viewers. Oh, returning viewers and new viewers. So returning viewers is the purple line, new viewers is the green line. That's interesting. I'm surprised to see that there's that many more new viewers as opposed to returning. Certainly most of the participants in chat are returning viewers. There are very few that I see that are not in blue in chat. But that would be live. The ones that are live are returning. The ones that watch videos afterwards, they're more likely to be new, I would think. Unique viewers. It shows unique viewers over these various different dates. Somehow I got more unique viewers November 30th. Was that when Carrie did that show with me? That would be a cause for unique viewers, meaning people that have not seen my channel before. Subscribers, 129 came in during the last 28 days, and they're saying that's 88 more than usual. I think that it's likely due to the show that Carrie did with me. Then what he was asking about how people come. So subscriber bell notifications, watch time, age and gender. Where is that? Videos growing your audience, other videos, other channels, your audience watches, top geographies. I'm not seeing that here as to where they come from. I think that comes from more individual videos. How viewers find your live stream. That's it. That's what we want. It's in content. Browse features. So browsing would be the suggested videos, I think, right? When they're looking at their homepage or suggested videos after watching some other video. Traffic from homepage, home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. Yeah. Somebody's coughing occasionally. Would you mind muting? Is that Gary?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. YouTube search. So when they actually search results. Now, I haven't had many videos recently where I had an appropriate title, appropriate to the video, that would be highly searchable. So I'm not getting much in YouTube search. Now, if somebody searches in YouTube for my name or my channel name, I think they would count in this category. But if they're searching for a specific problem they're having with the computer and they find one of my videos, that's really what the target of this is. And so on my Windows Daily, if I come up with a show or a topic, something that we deal with, that I can figure out some kind of a way to name the video that it would respond to search, or put something in the description that it would respond to search. Now, YouTube actually does, they do the closed captioning for all videos, but that's so in part so that YouTube can more accurately respond to searches. So if there's something I cover in my video that is not actually part of the name or part of the description, it still might turn up in YouTube search results if there aren't better results coming up. Notifications. Okay, so 13.6 of the people coming to my live streams come to that by clicking on a notification. So that's working. Channel pages, so that somebody goes actually to my channel page and finds something there. So 9.3% are going to my channel page. Now that would be like if somebody has put a shortcut, like here, Windows Daily Live, this shortcut I have saved as youtube.com/lwtdb/live. If you save that as a bookmark, that'll get you straight to my video. I suspect that counts as a channel pages. You're actually using a direct URL to get there. I don't know for sure if that's coming from channel pages. But if somebody comes to YouTube and then goes to find my channel, or maybe clicks in their subscriptions to get to my channel page, here, it gets to my channel page from here, and then click on this live or this, come over here and click on this live, that definitely would be from channel pages. So anyway, I think that was Ken that asked that, right? Yeah, so that's how I can see how they get here. Show the woodworking, garage space, amount of tools. Could sure have used your guidance earlier. I don't like GD because it's age-related. Grandpa Doug, to your family, not your Grandpa Doug to your family, not us. Well, no, only to my grandson. I use Grandpa Doug on my Fortnite channel because most of the people live streaming Fortnite are not grandfathers. And I thought some people might be attracted to that. And we get a lot of kids. Dennis and I get a lot of young kids. And I'm very interested in trying to be some kind of a role model there. And that's why the Grandpa Doug applies there. Now, on Live Windows Help, or something to that effect, I do feel attracted to Grandpa Doug because it is taking ownership of my age. And particularly my clients, my business owners, it appears to me they like dealing with somebody who is their age, their generation, or reasonably close, as opposed to a 20-something. So I am attracted to using and overusing Grandpa Doug. Forbin, now curious for you to say that. How old are you, or what? How, if you want to give us approximation, that's right. Okay, but I'd be curious for you to say that you don't like the Grandpa moniker. What age are you? Still working 60 hours a week. I'm not working that much because I'm self-employed and have more freedom, and yeah, I don't want to get into it, but I do have some health issues that cause me to want to reduce my workload. I don't work that kind of hours anymore, although I'm certainly productive that much, but not in earning money. Electrical license. Hopefully you see me not as a dummy, but a guy who can fix anything in general. I've also done maintenance here in Desert Empire. Moving on a bit. Retirement. Reagan administration may have time for payback, and the tables will be turned on us. That's my fear. Thanks, just trying to figure out why the name change. Had to leave Zoom. Yeah, no, I heard you leave. Coughing too much. All right. I hope you feel better soon. And, Ken Stout just got over a long-term illness, and then Jeff was sick shortly after. And I've noticed, Ken, on your channel, you guys, when you're talking to each other on channel, you're not wearing masks. Of course,
okay,
you're gonna...
now you got me to unmute. I do not miss work, but I have been to the doctor. I do not have anything. They chalk it up to allergy. They've said it's not the flu, it's not COVID, it's not anything. It's just a cough. And they've given me nothing. Said, don't take aspirin, Tylenol. It's not good for you.
So Ken went through it. Gary has it now. Jim went through it, through some sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there another one or two that are regulars on Ken Stout Live? It's been sick recently. I thought to myself, gosh, they're not wearing masks. Of course they're all sick.
I wear a mask in the car and in bed, but other than that, I don't wear one.
Yeah. I went into the dentist's office wearing a mask. Got into the chair and eventually said, "Oh, I guess I better take this off." She says, "Yeah, I can't work on you with the mask on."
I've been going to my dentist. I went to the dentist 3 weeks ago because I have a tooth that got cracked, just a little crack. Dentist lives 6 houses. He lives across the lake from me and 3 houses down, 6 houses down. And I was complaining about the lady behind me. It always shoots lights in my house. And he goes, "You mean?" And I said her name. He goes, "Oh God, she does that to me." We have been going like 10 years, and we didn't know we were that close together.
Oh, wow! And
dentist.
you have a mutual neighbor that's aiming lights into your homes?
Yeah, she likes to. It's far away, but she's just a crazy lady. She's old. There's newer houses. She has a house that's like 60 years old. It was like the original one in the area.
Yeah.
And her property was, they put up nicer houses, and hers is like a 3-bedroom, like 1,200 square foot house. And she doesn't like everybody.
Oh, all right. So I just noticed I'm 2.5 hours. It's time to wind this down. We did not get to that other subject about process monitor in virtual computer. I might do some incorporating of that into Windows Daily or maybe next week, but I am very interested in that pursuit. So let's get a final catch up here and then end this because we're near the end here. Yes.
One quick comment about what you're talking about with the channel. I was just saying, because you do that thing now for tomorrow's or Monday's daily update or whatnot, that you might, I don't even know if it's possible with YouTube or whatever, but request a question ahead of time when you post that for the question of the day. I don't know if you can do that, if there's a way to generate interest in, live for tomorrow, request question a day. Here's, just throw up a topic when you throw that up, if possible.
You're thinking incorporated into the title? Yeah.
Yes, we're not even title, but some kind of like, you have a question a day, let's just say, translate in Word. Well, I got one for you. It worked. I'm not even involved with the IT stuff in the last 6 months, but the home business, Microsoft 365 had 2 updates this week. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I'm not paying attention.
In other words, one was a mistake, or the one screwed up, and they had a second one 2 days later.
Oh yeah.
And NVIDIA, same thing. They had one on the 6th and one on the 8th for the drivers.
Yeah.
Now you may throw that out, like the last pass thing you did. You may throw that out, and then anybody have questions on that, then you get a question, you could respond and help whoever, answered your topic of the day. Whatever you see that came up in your work, because you deal with customers. It's interesting to the people. Maybe Long Dog doesn't see as many customers as you do, and that may be something interesting to throw out there as a question.
All right. All right. I will see what I can do with that. All right. Let's go finish this out. Microsoft was the valedictorian, and thank you, Gary. That's a good point. But Microsoft was valedictorian of my high school the year before I was valedictorian. His dad worked for my dad at Ford, so I have been lucky. Oh, that's from Gary. Wait, what? Steve Ballmer was a valedictorian in your high school? Really?
Detroit Country Day, yeah.
Wow. Fascinating. All right.
Yeah, his dad was an engineer. My dad was VP at Ford.
His dad worked for my dad at Ford, so I've been, awesome.
So I have slept in the same room as Steve Ballmer, $100 billion guy. He's sleepovers when we were kids.
Oh, okay. So not only was he valedictorian, but you were friends. You were acquainted. Oh, okay.
He was at my wedding. He was at my kid's bar mitzvah and everything.
Oh, wow. So do you still have contact with him occasionally?
Yeah, cards.
Oh,
talk to him
cool.
When he's in town with the Clippers. Go to the game.
Cool. And then you come and hang out with us.
Hey, it's time off. Well, the other thing is, if I say stuff around people like that, I get in trouble at work.
Say that again?
I can't be too political at times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. All right, so here, Londog, I like the term Grandpa Doug Fortnite. It implies a lot of things, like maybe Fortnite for people who are not sophisticated gamers. Sounds inviting. I see mostly positive things about that name. Now, actually, my Fortnite name currently is Grandpa Doug Learns Fortnite. And the word learns there was specifically to... I was very frustrated with watching videos on Fortnite because they were just way over my head. Not explaining things, and I thought Grandpa Doug Learns Fortnite might attract people who are learning the game. But it's been surprising. Man, we have some really, really talented kids playing with us. They're so good at that game. And I have absolutely no qualms at all with always being the least competent team member on our teams. Tidbit history, wife home, garage door open, desired live audience. Your desired live audience is who? Demographic. People who use computers and occasionally need help with them. So using computers in a productive environment. So probably not so much school kids. There have been a couple of the kids that play with us Fortnite that have shown up here on Live Windows Training and just said hello and chat, but they're not regulars at all. So that could be early 20s through 90s and above as far as ages go. The other thing about demographic would be English communication capability. Some of the people here are English as a second language. And they use, I think some of them have used this environment to help with their English skills along with their interest in computers. I can't narrow the demographic down to 30 years old to 35 years old. No, there's just no reasonable way to narrow it down. Now, I think also actually, though, by virtue of what has shown up, I think my average age might tend a little older than, Linus Tech Tips. I don't know that for sure. Jesse Kirk says, laughing my family active office. Now that was hilarious. I'm not going to try any further to figure out that acronym.
That's laughing my ass off.
Friendly ass off.
Well,
Or laughing
you
my
can use
full
that. You can use
ass-
that one if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, my family friendly ass off. Okay. Now that was hilarious. I'm not sure what he was referring to up there.
Not wearing the masks.
Oh, not wearing the mask. All right. Hey, wait a minute. I'm wearing my mask. I don't want to make anybody sick that is around me, though nobody home right now. And COVID back in August. I really am. I used to get sick for like 4 to 8 weeks every year in the fall. And I haven't had as much as sniffles since COVID hit. Because I am able to, I'm not around people very much. And when I am, I'm wearing a mask because I have the easy excuse to be able to do that without, being severely antisocial. I've been collecting masks, the kinds that come with companies. I hope to put them in a window frame, show part of history. Fantastic masks, memorabilia, retired from doing computer repair, any kind of money worth talking about, just call it beer. I want to help people keep using their computers. Do you play Fortnite with a keyboard and mouse? Yes, I do. I do not use a controller. I contemplated buying a USB controller and didn't wind up doing it. I'm your friend. If I played Fortnite, would you kill me? No, because you'd be playing on my team. If you're playing Fortnite with me, then you're playing with me on duos or trios or squads, and it's us against the rest of the 100 people. So no, I wouldn't kill you. Now, my grandson Braden is another case, another scenario. I got interested in Fortnite because he was interested in Fortnite. I thought this would be a great thing. We could play Fortnite together, right? No. We've played Fortnite together a few times. We go into the game. He gets bored very quickly with the Fortnite. Let's see, Zero Build. What's the other? Oh, the other name of the. They have many different games, but the one that's most popular is the main one. He gets very bored quickly with that. He wants to take me into another gameplay mode where he can kill me. That's all he's interested in. And every time I respawn on this area, I'm dead within milliseconds. And then I respawn again. I'm dead within milliseconds. That's all he wants to do. So I don't play with him very much. All right, it's time to say goodbye. Bring up Zoom. Jim, one more time, so I won't interrupt you.
Yeah. Good night, Gracie.
All right, thank you. Gary?
Good night, George.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to end the Zoom session, then shut down the stream. Oops, I got to bring my picture back up on screen. There it is. There's my email address if you'd like to send a question by email or any other purpose of contacting me. I don't provide computer support through email correspondence, but your question could wind up being a Windows Daily topic or another Saturday topic. And nothing more in chat that I need to read out. So I hope that's been useful. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.